Resident Evil 4 is praised by many as a near-perfect game, with many fans believing that it's the best Resident Evil game of all time. So with that in mind, it makes sense that Capcom is looking to cash in with an updated take on the survival horror classic. Since the original was released on the GameCube in 2005, we have seen remasters of the game, but Capcom has taken it to a whole new level with a complete remake of the classic. In this video, we will speedrun everything we know so far about the Resident Evil 4 remake. The remake promises to modernize the gameplay and graphics while staying true to the beloved story and characters. Players will once again take on the role of Leon Kennedy, a special agent sent to rescue the president's daughter from a mysterious cult in rural Spain. The Resident Evil 4 remake is being built from the ground up, so we'll have updated graphics, taking advantage of the capabilities of current-gen consoles. The developers have stated they want to maintain the atmosphere and eeriness of the original game while improving the visuals to bring the world of Resident Evil 4 to the modern day. The game is set to release on March 24th, 2023, and will release on the PS4 and 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. A subtle but huge change is the focus on movement mechanics and exploration. One small criticism of the OG game is that it was quite linear, which seems to have been addressed from the reveal footage. A direct example of this is the notable changes to the first house you visit after traveling through the woods, where new doors and rooms allow you to explore previously closed off areas, adding more depth. Expanding on movement, a simple but interesting mechanic is the addition of crouching, which goes hand in hand with exploration, as we assume environments will now be adapted to allow this new mechanic. And one change that is game changing but seems to be going under the radar is Leon can actually move while aiming his gun. This might seem like a small change to veteran players, but for new players of Resident Evil 4, how restricted the movement mechanics were was probably the biggest limitation of the game. Another addition is the option to pull out your trusty knife and stab the ganados that lunge at you. Always good to have more options to defend yourself. Speaking of defending yourself, it looks like you can now parry too, which again adds another dynamic to the game. The game's inventory looks familiar, but for eagle-eyed fans, you may have noticed something very interesting hidden in the merchant shop.
What are you buying?
When showcasing the bolt rifle, if you look closely, you can see listed in the perks is text stating that various scopes can be mounted, meaning that we may finally see custom attachments for weapons in the remake. These are all the things confirmed, but there are a number of rumours surrounding the Resident Evil 4 remake, ranging from Krauser being removed from the game completely to Ashley finding a place to hide instead of annoyingly following your every move.
Leon!
The rumour that seems to be getting the most traction is that Resident Evil 4 Remake will include some form of multiplayer, and in fairness, there's actually some evidence that kind of supports it. The Entertainment Software Rating Board shows the game will come with in-game purchases, which many believe is suggesting means a multiplayer mode will be available. The same was said with Resident Evil 3 Remake, and it ended up leading to the multiplayer Resident Evil Resistance, so there might actually be some weight in this rumour. I think it's more likely that it's suggesting there'll be a link directing to a DLC page for purchasers, and with the amount of DLC on offer for the different editions of the game, I think this is probably the most likely scenario. But hey, we can all dream, right? Oh, and did I mention the terrifying Chainsaw Man is back? God, I hate that. The Resident Evil 4 remake is looking like it might be the best Resident Evil game of all time. And speaking of great games to look forward to, you should check out this video, where we explain everything you need to know about the new Bethesda release, Starfield.